G'day everybody, Nick here, just going to give you a quick rundown on today's Charters Towers market. Look, today agents only yarded 1,800 head, pretty small yarding for what we have been yarding in Charters Towers, but certainly the process was still strong. I would say it may have fell off maybe 10 cents on the bullocks and 10 cents on the cows over the last previous weeks, but in saying that, the yarding of cattle were all over the shop today. But look, out of the 1,200 prime cattle here today, we probably had about 600 steers in the bullock run. So not every one of them was a bullock, but there was a few lanes there of very handy bullocks, or you had young, heavy feeder steers that probably more went back to a feedlot to feed rather than to kill. But look, we'll get into it. The bullock job topped out at about 394 cents. But like I said they would go back to a feeder. But if you had a heavy 550 kilo well conditioned bullock finish, 650 plus, you're probably topping out at around 380 cents. But a lot of those bullocks today made anywhere from 370 to 380 cents. So that was pretty much the market on all those big, strong, full mouth bullocks. Even a young bullock was 75 to 80. Get back into those lighter feeder weight cattle, like we said, back into your 450 to 500 kilo steer. They were anywhere from 380 all the way up to 394 cents. So obviously going back to feed or going back to the boat. Look, heifers, there wasn't many heifers there at all for the yarding that were big, heavy prime heifers. But if you did isolated pens of big, heavy prime heifers, they were topping out at about 354 cents. But a lot of that heifer money today was 330 to 335, regardless if it was 320 kilos all the way up to 450 to 500 kilos. So that was a heifer job. Cows, look, I think there was only 312 head of cows yarded for the whole yarding today, but we did see some pens of very big, strong cows, or we've seen blow-away light cows. But the best of those heavy cows were 650, 680 kilos. They were only making 336 to 38 cents. I think the best cows in the Saturday was around 38, but that main run of cows from 500 to 650 kilos was anywhere from $3.20 to $3.30. So if you had a big heavy cow that's expected to get 20 to 30, get back into your under 500 stuff. 450 to 500 cow, you're probably more around 310, and you come back at 50 kilo ranges like 400 kilo cows, you're looking at about 300 cents. So those lighter cows are still making plenty of money, so nothing wrong with them. I'd keep sending those lighter cows. Bulls, the bull job was strong as today. You had the process, you had the exporters, you had the backgrounders. They were all in them to them bulls. The bulls making out to 370 cents. A lot of them Mickeys anywhere that were, 350 to 400 kilo Mickey, that could have made anywhere 390 to 95 cents. So certainly that Mickey job, very strong. If you got them, send them in. Store job, look, there was only isolated pens of store cattle as well. Little blow-away, light blow-away cattle under 200 kilos. There was a couple of pens of really good calves of those, and they were making anywhere from 415 to 420 cents. So that they were certainly strong in that lighter end, bit of quality, bit of youth on their side, not little light blowaways. They were in ordinary condition. Get back up into your steer that was 300 to 350 kilos. Look, they could have made anywhere from $3.70 all the way to $3.90 as well. So pretty consistent in the steer job, 70 to 80 all day. Heifers, look, there wasn't many heifers in the yard at all, but the best of the heifers, I think they only got out to about 320 or 30 cents. But like I say, those little light heifers still hard to get rid of, and the medium heifers all around $3. Look, wasn't there any cows and calves there worth quoting on today? Look, we do have a fair few cattle for next week, so if you are thinking about getting some cattle in, make sure you ring one of the boys, and book them in. We'll work out whether having one or two sales next week. Thank you.